Previously on Fire Emblem 7, Iron Man, and so on and so forth. Died in the very first level. This is off to a great start. And now, back to today's episode. Hello, you're listening to SerDuncan, and this is the second episode of my Fire Emblem 7 Iron Man run. Today I'm going to be checking out a couple of the next chapters in this game. Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and maybe Chapter 4, if we're lucky. I kind of looked back as I was editing my previous episode. I kind of noticed a few things that I wanted to change going into this. And I watched a few episodes from some other Fire Emblem Let's Plays on YouTube. And I decided to make a couple of big changes in this next episode. The first one is that I kind of want to revisit some of the previous characters that I talked about but didn't really go too much into depth with. So right now we've only got 3, so it won't take this long. But in the future, whenever we meet a character, I think I'm going to pull up a screen, which should be appearing on the screen right now. That's going to give their growth rates, their base stats, and it's also going to have a little part for my own personal rating of them. I felt like, as I was looking at some other Let's Plays, that this really gave a sense of how each player feels about the character right away. And I kind of wanted to do that because I have played these games before, but I'm no expert by any means. In fact, I'd say I hardly know anything about the games. I'm very bad with the calculations, and I kind of just do things more to have fun rather than think too tactically about it. So the first thing I want to bring up, before I even go into each character, is how I do my rating scale. Now, I thought this was kind of original the first time I looked it up, but it turns out many people have done this type of scale before me. I get frustrated when I see like IGN give 8s and 9s and 10s, or other YouTubers or other magazines or other websites giving a lot of really high scores, because it means that there's an entire like 70% of a rating scale that doesn't get explored. So the way that I like to do my rating scales is I like to go from 0 to 10, with 0 being impossibly bad and 10 being impossibly perfect. You're never going to see me rate something as a 0 or as a 10 unless it's as a joke, because it's impossible. No unit is bad enough that nobody would ever want to use them. But no unit is perfect enough that everybody will always use them in every playthrough. And that's how I feel about movies and video games and books as well. So with that rating scale, that gives us 1 through 4 and then 6 through 9, giving us 4 points in each scale with 0.5s in between, so a total of 16 points plus 5 in the middle, which is perfectly average. So going into that then, knowing that scale, I'm going to be rating these people from my 0 to 10 scale. Usually, I'm guessing a few of them will be over 5, some of them will be under 5, and you can kind of gauge which ones I like more by how high the rating is. Since I just mentioned earlier that I'm no expert at Fire Emblem, I'm definitely going to be advising that you don't take these ratings to heart. I may like the unit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good unit, or that they're a great unit, or that everybody uses them. It just means that I personally like them. I look at their stats and I see stuff that I like. Other people might not. Other people may see them and go, wow, those stats are garbage. But maybe I see them and I see something different. So the first character, getting right into it, that we're going to start with is Lyn. Lyn is our first lord, so she actually has pretty good stats across the board. As I was looking at other characters' growth rates, I realized that I was a little hasty in some of my judgments for the Game Boy Advance games, and particularly Fire Emblem 7 and Fire Emblem 6 in particular. Did I say particularly in particular? Oh, gosh. Sometimes I can get a little bit nervous when I'm trying to record stuff. Her growth rates are actually pretty good. 40% strength, 60% skill, 60% luck. Those are actually fairly decent numbers. They're pretty good for a Myrmidon, which is essentially what she is. She's not a lord in the traditional sense, because most lords tend to be a little frail at first, usually wielding just a sword, and they have some decent bulk. She's more like a Myrmidon than an actual lord. Myrmidons are speedy, accurate sword fighters who don't deal a ton of damage, but usually get a lot of critical hits. Her defenses are better than I was expecting, but they're still not very good. 20% for defense is not the highest you can possibly get, obviously. But 30 is actually pretty good, so she'll be taking a couple hits from magic users better than she'd take hits from, say, a lance user or an axe user. I like her a pretty decent amount, but I feel that she falls off a little bit near the end when you've got some really hard hitters, especially one of the other lords and a couple of other units that I like a little bit better. So I tend to stop bringing her, I'd say, 3/4 of the way through the game. But right now, in these first 11 chapters, she's required, so I'm going to be training her up. Hopefully she gets she uses that 40% strength growth and shows us something good. I'd say I'd give Lynn probably a 6. I know that seems a little bit harsh, but I feel like she's painfully average for a Myrmidon. There are better Myrmidons in the game before this and the game after this, and I'd even say that sometimes the Myrmidon that you get in this game is better than her for me. Does that mean that he's actually better than her? Not necessarily. It just means that I tend to like him a little bit more. Moving on, we're going to be talking about Sane next. Sane is a Cavalier, and Cavaliers tend to have lower growth rates across the board to make up for the fact that they have really high movement, 7 total, actually. He is one of 5 horse-based units in the game, and one of 3 Cavaliers that we're going to get. Of those 3 Cavaliers, he's probably my second favorite in terms of how much I actually use him, but a lot of people say that either him or Kent are one of the best in the game. When you're looking at his growth rates, you can see he's got an 80% strength, or HP, which is 10% more than Lynn. So he's going to at least have a little bit more bulk, but he's actually got the same sort of defenses, 20% defense and 20% resistance. So he's not the best when it comes to defenses, but he starts with some pretty good base stats, 6 defense. So he should be doing okay for a little while. His strength is what really puts him apart, though, in that he has 60%. That's really good. That means that almost every level, he has like a little bit over a 50% chance of getting a strength growth. And in this game, strength is king. Well, that's not true. Speed is king, but strength brings you a pretty far way along as well. It's kind of tough for me to say when it comes to Sane, but I'd probably give Sane, I'd give him a 6 as well. I enjoy using Cavaliers, but I do feel like they end up being very run-of-the-mill. Their stats are kind of all over the place, or average across the board is what I mean to say, and they never really excel in any area apart from being able to move pretty fast. Especially when you promote them, they get 3 different weapon types, and if anything, while that makes them very versatile, it makes it so that they can't specialize in any one thing very well. So moving on, the next character we have is Kent. Now, it's kind of scary when you look at Kent and you see that none of his major growths, apart from HP, is above 50%. But if you look, you can actually see that he's a little bit more balanced than Sane across the board. He has the exact same strength growth as Lynn, which is a little frightening considering he's supposed to be a Cavalier, but hopefully he'll be getting a couple of, he'll be hitting that mark a couple times. Pretty good skill. Really good skill and speed. Low luck, but his defense and his resistance is 5% higher each than Sane, meaning that he's actually going to get, on average, a little bit more resistance, considering that he starts off with more than Sane does. When it comes to Kent, I feel like he's even more of a mixed bag than Sane. I've had really bad Kents, and I've had Kents who have carried me through some of the harder chapters in the game. The problem with Kent for me is the same problems I have with Sane. I always feel like I drop them off in favor of more specialized units as the game goes on. Some people, especially people who like to play the game as fast as possible and as optimally as possible, love playing characters who have a lot of high movement like Pegasus Knights and Cavaliers. But for me, I do take a plotting path through the game. I like to make sure that I'm getting every secret, that I'm talking to every character, that I'm exploring everything, killing every enemy. And Kent doesn't really facilitate that very well. So I'm going to give him the exact same score that I've given the previous 2 characters. Very boring, I know, but I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. If we get, depending on how far we get in this these next couple chapters, we might get a couple more units, but that's enough of me expounding about random crap. It's time to get back into the game. Chapter 2, Sword of Spirits. Boy, oh boy, my voice kind of hurts. I think I'm just getting so tense. A small altar lies on the outskirts of Bulgur. This ancient temple, sacred to the people of Sakai, has long been known for its powerful bond to the world of spirits. Before starting their journey, our travelers come here to pray for their well-being. At this altar, Lin's hand is directed to a grand inheritance. I'm excited. I'm pretty excited. I don't know if anybody's watching this, but even if anybody isn't, I'm still pretty excited. I love playing Fire Emblem. It's one of my top 3 favorite series, probably. No, top 5 for sure. Maybe top 3. It's one of the few series that I'm trying to collect as well. McDaniel, hold a moment and allow me a short detour. There's a sacred... Oops. Well, I missed that. The people of Sakai go there to pray for safety at the onset of a long journey. Oh, how quaint. The teachings of Elimine have the most followers and Elibi. It is nice to see that here, at least, the ancient customs are still observed. I know I definitely mispronounced those heavily, but... Old man, stay where you are, and hold your tongue. Threaten me as you will, but I'll not give up the Manikati. The Manikati is a sacred blade under divine protection. It cannot be removed from its place of rest. You're a fool, old man. What good's a sword if you don't use it? Use it in combat. Sacrilege. Sacrilege. I am Glass. The gods fear my name. My swordplay is peerless. And if I want this sword, then this sword I shall have. Now get out of my way. Ooh! I love that he just... I know we don't get to see anything, but I just imagine that he just bitch slaps this old man out of the way. This is it. It's more magnificent than I'd imagined. The sword was made for a swordsman of my skill. What's this? I can't draw the sword from its scabbard. The spirits of the blade have judged you. You have been found wanting. They have rejected you. What? Listen, you senile old fool, if you value your own life, you'll get out of my sight. Curses, miserable spirits. I care nothing for you. I'll tear this altar down stone by stone. Gosh, man, you definitely got an anger issue. Oh, I beg your pardon, milady. Are you headed east to the altar? Yes, we are indeed. Then you must hurry and help the priest there. I saw a band of local ruffians heading there not long ago. They seemed intent on stealing the altar's sacred sword. The Manikati, they're going to steal it? I cannot allow this to happen, because you need it. Lindis, what are you planning? If you hope to go to the priest's aid, you'll need to prepare. You're right. Say, McDaniel, there are some homes to the south of us. Perhaps we should go there and question the residents. To be honest, I don't know if I've ever questioned the residents. I mean, you have to in the tutorial, but the houses are just generally so boring. I guess I'll go and check them out to see if there's anything interesting for anybody else watching, but mostly I think I'm going to be skipping them. So we've got a couple of brigands. They're all wielding iron axes. They're level 1s and 2s. Nothing to worry about. But here, this man, Glass, you know, he says that he's strong enough to wield the Manikati. Let's see if he really is. No, probably not. Honestly, he's looking pretty weak across the board. I mean, with a name like Glass, you're probably not going to live very long. I've always thought it's funny. A lot of these like early game barbarian, ruffian type guys have really weird names like Glass, Wire. It's just like nobody names their kid Glass. Whatever. If an item has like that green blinking text around it, means that it's going to be dropped. So let's see. A Sakayan swordsman with a greedy heart. We also get to see a new class here. A mercenary. Professional soldiers with a balanced set of skills. So there's 2 types of like main sword wielders here. There's myrmidons and then there's mercenaries. Mercenaries tend to have more balanced stats, going for strength, defense, you know, skill and speed. While myrmidons are far more focused on speed and skill. It's kind of interesting to see how they're different. Say, aren't you the... Oh, you're going to help the priest. Well, perhaps you could benefit from something I saw earlier. The bandits may have the main entrance guarded. However, blah, blah. I'll definitely be skipping these if I feel like they're not important. Alright, so those other 2 houses didn't really have too much. So I think I'm going to just go and attack this barbarian with Kane. Kane? Kent and Sane at the same time. He's actually got a pretty high hit chance for barbarian against sword wielder, but I guess Kent did get that really garbage level up. So he's going to be able to hit Sane, but that's okay. Sane can probably take the hit. Maybe. I don't really know. There we go, Sane. That's what I like to see. Hitting him with that 67%. I think for some of these early levels, I'm going to show every battle, but later on, I might start skipping battles if I feel like it's getting a little bit too repetitive. So, as one of the people in one of these houses sort of mentioned, that old lady that we saw earlier, this wall is actually breakable over here. This cracked wall means that we can destroy it by dealing 30 damage over time to it. It doesn't really matter since I want to kill every enemy on this map anyway, but it's something useful to know later on, especially if you're trying to get to places quickly. Good job, Kent. I love how you're not dodging anything. That's just what I want from you. I swear, sometimes it feels like you can just have the worst luck. I really don't want to have to do that, but I guess I'm just gonna see if Sane can get him. Good job, Sane. This is what I like to see. Kent, why can't you be more like Sane, honestly? Alright, Lynn's at 3. She's about to level up. I'm gonna drop her down here. This bandit's gonna probably go after Kent, considering that he obviously sucks at everything. Ugh, that's 3 axe hits you've taken to the face, Kent. What's up? Ugh. I die in the first chapter. Kent takes a flippin' axe to the face 3 times. This does not bode well for the rest of this LP. It's alright though. At least Lynn is hitting these guys and hitting them for more damage than Kent. I feel like maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like that really should not be the case. Well, I guess I'm gonna send. I'm gonna have Lane. I'm gonna have Sane attack the wall. Kent, I just want you to heal up, and then I'm gonna go after Glass as soon as I get into this door. Considering that Sane hasn't leveled up yet, I think I'm gonna want to give him the boss kill. I'm gonna have Kent take this barbarian here. I'm gonna just have Lynn kind of very, very slowly go around down these. I don't know if they're hills or mountains, actually. I guess I'll have to go check. Just Kent is just so disappointing. Kent, everything you do disappoints me. He's not doubling. He's not dealing that much damage. The barbarians have hit him in the face. I mean, orange hair does not give you any sort of free pass here, Kent. Let me tell you what. Although, to be fair, he did just dodge 3 axe strikes, so I guess I should start giving him a little bit more credit. Maybe if his next level up is halfway decent, I'll give him some credit. In the meantime, though, I'm just gonna, I wonder how much damage Sane can deal to this guy. It's pretty good. I think I'm just gonna have Sane wait here, have Kent sit below him, and then have that last barbarian on the bottom go after good friend Lynn. Who do you think you are? What chance do you think you have against me? I don't know, pretty good chance, to tell you the truth. Why do we keep getting hit in the face? This sucks. Alright, level up. Let's see. Strength. Strength. There we go. I mean, at least she got a point in something that really matters. Strength. That's all I needed to see. In the meantime, though, I think that's enough for Kent to steal this kill. And I think he's going to get another level. Kent, I'm going to decide right here. Ugh. Kent, why do you suck so hard? Alright, so now I'm going to take a quick little second here. And I'm going to... some enemies, some bosses specifically, will have special dialogue for when they're fighting certain characters. So I'm going to attack this guy with Lynn just once, so that we can see a special dialogue. I'm going to try to get as much as we can in the future. Oh, I guess this guy doesn't. I thought he did for some reason. Maybe I'm thinking of a different early game boss. I definitely know that sometimes certain characters can have specific things when they see people. I really hope Sane hits this guy here. Good job, buddy. I was worried there for a second. I probably shouldn't have let that soap a chance. You know, I'm pretty impressed that he can talk considering he just got a lance shoved straight through his head. I definitely would not want to choke on a lance. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Well, Sane is already off to a far better start than Kent. Just that 1 point of strength, and even that point of skill there, definitely helped him in the long run. Now, this is a Seized Throne chapter, something that any of you Fire Emblem newbies who only play Awakening and Fates probably don't recognize. This is most of the chapters in this game I think are going to be Seized Throne. Personally, I actually like them. A lot of people don't like them because they don't like the idea of having to bring a lord with them all the way to the end of a level. But I like them because it forces you to change up your strategy potentially. Maybe you have to leave your lord behind but protect them, or maybe you have to ferry them about if they're too weak. Ah, your clothing! Are you of the Lorca tribe? I'm Lynn, the chieftain's daughter. Are you hurt, sir? Thanks to you, you have my gratitude. And the sword, is it safe? Yes, I have sealed the sword safely away. Until I remove my spell, the sword cannot be drawn. Now, as a token of my gratitude, I shall allow you to lay hands upon the Manikati. Touch the blade's pattern and pray for a safe journey. Oh, thank you so much. And, wow, what a surprise. Oh God, I didn't realize you were a video game protagonist, or I would have just given it to you right away. What did... The sword. It's glowing. It's the power of the spirits. Lynn, they have looked into your soul, and they call out to you. What does that mean? You are its rightful owner. You are to wield the Manikati. No, I can't. I couldn't. I shouldn't. I won't. I wouldn't. It is the sword's wish. If you require proof, draw it from its sheath. So you want me to grasp your sword with both hands, remove it from its sheath. What's next? Oh, my God. It's a sword that glows a little bit. Dear God! How exciting! It came out effortlessly. I never dared to hope that I might meet the wielder of the Manikati in my life. I am indeed fortunate to see your sword reach your hands. My sword. It is time for you to go, Lynn. You face a great many ordeals. Grip the sword and meet your destiny head-on. Yes. Yes, sir! Got the Manikati. The mother-flippin' Manikati. So this is the Manikati, a blade with no equal. This is all so unbelievable. Perhaps the most famous sword in all of Sakai, in my hand. Except for the better version that you get later on in the game that's never explained. That's a better sword. It's not so strange. In fact, many legends tell similar tales. Special blades all over the land call out to their proper owners. And yet when I saw you draw that blade, Lindis, I felt something extraordinary. That sword was waiting for you. You were meant to draw it. Stop it! I'm nothing special. Think of it this way. Some weapons feel more comfortable in your hand, right? Well, the Manikati itself feels very comfortable with you. Does this make it any easier for you to accept? It doesn't appear that either of us can use it. It does feel right in my hand. A blade that only I can wield. That seems reasonable enough. I can understand that. Look at it, McDaniel. This is the Manikati. This is my sword. I must care for it well. Yeah, you better. And here we go. The obligatory, what are the villains up to? You can even tell by the uber generic, this is the villain's music. What? Madeline's daughter is still alive. If I could, I would love to go for like a Sidious voice. Like,
I am the Senate.
Yes, Lord Lundgren. The girl is traveling with, Kent and Sane. What are your orders, if we let them be?
Bah, I've heard that northern burn is full of bandits. She's just a girl. She'll not survive her journey here. I'm more concerned with my dear older brother. His life must be ended quickly. The poison, there must be no blunders.
Oh, wow, what a surprise. Turns out the illness was caused by his poison after all. Ooh, wow. I'm kind of shitting on the story right now, but it's not like... it's meant to be kind of an obvious story. The later story is a little less obvious, although it is very Fire Emblem-y, and I'll get to that at a later date. He suspects nothing and continues to drink it. The Marquis's death, due to, no doubt, to sudden illness, is not far off.
Soon Kalen will be mine. I am the Senate. Execute Order 66.
Alright. Only like 25 minutes in, and we're already moving on to the next episode, or the next chapter. Just dying over here. No big deal. The secrets of her past revealed in the words of two knights of Lycia. Now, to meet her grandfather, Lynn heads west. To Lycia, and to her destiny. A mountain range separates the Sakai Plains from Bern. There are many bandits lurking here, the cruelest of which are the Taliver. They wreak havoc on both Sakai and Bern, and their savagery knows no bounds. On her 10th day away from the plains, Lynn witnesses their atrocities herself. Oh, look, a Pegasus Knight! This was one of my favorite characters when I first played the game, but now I realize that I don't like her nearly as much. We actually get 2 characters in this chapter, which is pretty cool. I like it when they kind of give you a lot of different characters, because it makes your army feel a little bit more real. This place, it's... The entire area is in ruins. Why doesn't their Marquis do anything to help? Taliver Mountain is home to a gang of vicious, ruthless bandits. No Marquis holds power here. My village was near here, on the other side of the mountain. My people were... The Taliver bandits came at night. It took only one night. The survivors numbered less than 10, including me. They're soulless beasts. I will never forgive them. Never. Lindis. I don't even know. What am I supposed to say for ellipses? I am not running away. I will be back someday. I'll be stronger. I will break their swords beneath me like twigs beneath a stallion's hooves. I will avenge my people. I'll do everything in my power. When the time comes, bring me with you. Sane. Don't forget me either. Kent. Oh, you too, McDaniel. I didn't say anything. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to eat some custard pies and drink some soda. It's going to be great. Thank you.
Wait right there, little lady. What are you going to do to apologise, huh? She's going to catch, buddy? I bet the boss give us a pretty penny for her. Yeah, she roughed me up a bit, so I figure fair's fair. It's no more than she deserves. What are we gonna do with the flying mule?
Don't you dare touch her!
What, you just watch your mouth, girlie.
Do what you will with me, just... let her go, please, I beg of you.
Ha 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 ha! Silly twit. Pegasi can only be found in Ilia. They're rare beasts, worth more than you by far. We can sell it for a mountain of gold. Let it go. Ha!
No, you can't.
Come on, let's move.
What's this? Be on your guard, Lindis. There seems to be some sort of commotion over there. That's a Pegasus. Could it be? Florina? Is that you, Florina? Ah, Lynn? Florina! Or Florina? I guess I'll have to go check Fire Emblem Heroes for the pronunciation later. What are you doing in a place... Oh, What are you doing in a place like this? Lynn! Is it really you? I... Come now. No crying. I'm sorry. You are acquaintances? She's my friend. This is Florina, a Pegasus knight in training from Ilia. She's a little uncomfortable around men. Tell me, Florina, what happened here? Well, when I heard that you had left, I decided to follow you. Then I saw this village. I flew down to ask if they had news of you. I didn't see these two end well. Did your Pegasus land on them? Well, a little.
Oh, you heard her. She admits her fault. She stepped on my friend and now she's gotta pay.
Did you apologize, Florina? Yes. I told them I was sorry many times over. They just wouldn't listen. Don't cry. It's all right. Lynn. Listen, she's obviously sorry. Can't we just let this pass? You don't appear to be injured or anything.
No chance. The girl goes with us. By force if need be.
Uh-oh. Oh no, more bandits.
Hey, come out now, boys. The men are fair game, but don't put a scratch on the girls.
McDaniel, we've got to fight back. Lynn, You're a Pegasus knight, aren't you? You can fight, can't you? Yes. Listen carefully, McDaniel. We're facing bandits. They're underlings, but we can't take them too lightly. Let's clear them out of here. Are you ready? The layout around here might make it difficult to fight. The same holds true for our foe, too. If we use these walls just so, they may ensure our victory. Lynn, who's that? This is McDaniel. He's still an apprentice, but he's my tactician. Oh, I see. McDaniel, I'm pleased to meet you. And now here we are, into the game. I'm going to bring up Florina's stat page real quick. Going to look at what she has. She only comes with a slim lance, which, if we check over here with... Yeah, Sane. Sane's lance has 7 might and has an 80% hit chance. But Florina is wielding a much weaker version of this. It has a 5% crit, which Sane's lance didn't. Its weight is only 4, which is a lot lighter. It has a 5% better chance to hit, but it's got 3 less might. The reason for this is that if you look here, Florina's constitution is only 4, which is not very good. Whereas Sane's is 9. So Sane can wield his Iron Lance without any sort of weight penalty, but Florina is going to take a pretty hefty weight penalty. And since one of her main things, if we look at her base stats, is speed, we really don't want that to happen. So let's pull up her page right now. As you can see, looking at Florina, her growth rates are going to be pretty, they're fine. I guess they're better than I usually think they are, but 40% strength, again, not particularly good. It's the same as Lynn, so we really hope that she's going to get some better strength level ups at some point. She's got 50% skill, 55% speed, and 50% luck. So you can kind of tell where her strengths lie. They lie in hitting people, being fast, and dodging. Her defenses, so far, that's the lowest defense growth we've seen. It's very bad. It's going to mean that she's also paper thin, but she has the best resistance we've seen so far with a 35%. Usually what that means is that Pegasus Knights tend to be a little bit better against mages, so they can take a couple more hits from them. So in the meantime, going back here, it's time for me to really quickly recruit our next party member. Is anyone there? He's just so generic. Leave us alone, you thugs. Go away, go away. We've no more gold for you. No, wait, please. We're not bandits. We want to help the village. Please listen. Remain inside, everyone. And we're about to hear like my favorite song in this entire game. It's classic. You've heard it. I've heard it. Everybody loves it. I'll go see what's happening. Pretty sure this counted as the Fire Emblem theme in Super Smash Bros. Melee, so I'm sure plenty of people heard this song when they were growing up, even if they never played Fire Emblem. Not bandits, huh? So who are you? My name is Lynn. My colleagues and I are just traveling through here. We saw some bandits about. We're going to deal with them, but we need you to go and warn the villagers. Hey, wait. The name's Will. I'm a traveler of sorts too. Listen, these villagers have been kind to me. Mind if I fight with you? Not at all. We need all the help we can get. Welcome aboard, Will. So I kind of forgot when I was talking about Florina, so I'm going to real quick pull that back up. I forgot to give her a rating. I like Florina. I do use her, and I think that right now, especially in this part of the game, Pegasus Knights can be pretty useful. So I'm going to give her a 6.5 out of 10. There are better Pegasus Knights that I like a lot more, although we're not going to get her in this playthrough, unfortunately, my favorite Pegasus Knight. And there are better Pegasus Knights in other games as well. Now let's take a look at our boy Will. Looking at just his base stats, they're super, super basic. There's like nothing special about them at all. I just find this guy to be insufferably boring. A youth from Foray in the Lyceid League. Very social. Oh wait, let me check. A Pegasus Knight earning her title. A friend of Lynn's. Back to Will. And let me pull up his stats right now. So when we're looking at Will's stats and his growth rate specifically, they're not too bad. But I just find him to be so painfully average in every game I've ever gotten. Since his strength and his skill growth are both 50%, it's really hit or miss if he can be any good. His speed is lower than I feel like it should be for an archer. His luck is not the best. And his defense and resistance, they're pretty good. They're better than Sane, but, I mean, for an archer, I guess I just don't like him. There's another archer that you get later in the game. Not too much later in the game, but later in the game, and I like her so much better. I like her better as a character. I feel like she ends up better, but maybe that's just me. The point is, I'm sure Will can be a perfectly serviceable archer if you want one. A lot of people hate archers as a class, but I personally find them really interesting, and I like to use them a lot. I don't tend to have more than one or two on my team, and unfortunately, Will is just not one of them. I probably give him a 5 out of 10. Perfectly average and perfectly mediocre. So we've got Will, and you can also see some new enemy types around the map. They're called archers. Archers can attack only from 2 spaces away, so like you can see with Will, he can attack from 2 spaces away to hit this archer, but if I were to go up next to a unit, he's not able to attack them. It also means that archers are super effective, so to speak. It means that they deal, I think, double might, maybe triple might, of how much damage they would normally deal against flying units. So that means that we got to keep Florina out of the range of a couple of these guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this guy with an arrow. I do love the way that archers do the arrows in this game. They just kind of like, it's so basic. They just kind of draw it and then let it fly. And then I'm going to send Florina up to check this house. Generic little girl. You came to help the village. Oh, that's good. With so many bandits, I wasn't sure what to do. It's not much, but please take this money. There is an armory to the southeast of us. Equip yourself as you see fit and help us, please. Well, on the whole, I'm very glad that they didn't do it like this. It doesn't really make sense how now Sane could go shopping down here, considering that Florina got the money and she's all the way over here. It's whatever. It's whatever. I'm not going to complain. So now you can see that extra point of nothing that Sane didn't get, but he is able to double this archer despite getting terrible levels so far. Since I don't really care about Sane at this point, since he's failed me for the last time, I think I'm just going to let him deal a little bit of damage to this archer, and then I'm going to have Sane come in for the kill. As long as this archer... Oh, well, it's fine. Sane can take it. He's a big boy. What I really need is another iron sword for Sane, because right now he's not doing so hot with that lance. If any of those barbarians came over, he'd be in a heap of trouble. Oh, and there's one more thing that I forgot. I forget everything. Lynn has a new sword. So you can see that her basic sword has 5 weight, 5 might, 90 hit, and 0% crit. Considering that her constitution is 5, it's the perfect basic weapon for her. The Manikati, on the other hand, is way lighter, deals 3 more has 3 more might, the same hit chance, which 80% is pretty good. Usually you're going to be hitting against everything. And it has a 20% chance to crit added on to whatever you can, added on by your own critical bonus. So you can see down here that Lynn has crit of 4, which is calculated using a whole bunch of stats. That's too complicated for me to explain right now. But that's added to this 20 here, which means that she's going to have a 24% chance to crit most enemies. Minus then whatever bonuses they have. It's also effective against infantry, which essentially means armor units, cavalry units, and that's it. But it's pretty good. It's essentially like most Fire Emblem lords get what's called a rapier, which is the same sort of weapon. It's effective against horse units, cavalry units, armor units, and a couple other different types of units. Yeah, Sane's fine. Yeah, but it's pretty good. I'm going to be using it a pretty decent amount because I'm pretty sure after the little time skip, it gets healed back up to full. I'm not certain on that, so I might have to look that up in between episodes. But in the meantime, I'm going to get right to it. Can Sane kill this guy in one hit? No, but he's not going to move out of the way because Fire Emblem AI in this game is a little janky. So I'm just going to go and hit him with the Iron Lance for now. Or not! Sane, please don't be Kent. For the love of God, just don't be Kent. The rest of this map is pretty much basic stuff. I'll show you some important things that happen in like checking out the armory and so on and so forth. But other than that, I think I'm going to skip ahead. Alright, so we have made our way to the armory now. The armory here, you can see that we can spend our gold, labeled with the big yellow G, obviously. I don't know. I'm pretty sure anybody could have figured that out. To buy weapons. Something that I haven't mentioned yet because it hasn't become super relevant is that in early Fire Emblem games, weapons have a durability. Once those weapons run out of durability, they're broken, and you can never get them back. You can see here that the Iron Sword and the Iron Lance has 46 and 45 respectively. That means how many hits they can land before they're broken. Right now, Sane needs to get himself an Iron Sword, and Florina is going to need an Iron Lance. We're pretty good on stuff for a while, and we're going to be getting more later on. So, I think we should be good. And that little break that I had there, Sane actually gained a level, but it was nothing good, so I'll see you when I'm at the boss. Alright, so here we are at the final boss battle. I think just for these early chapters, I'm probably going to skip through a couple of them because they're not terribly exciting. But when we get to Eliwood's story and things start really kicking into gear, I'm going to make sure to put the entire chapter in. But since Lynn's story is a little bit shorter, I'm going to try to skip through them a little bit. If anybody who's watching this disagrees with me on that, feel free to say something in the comments. I definitely am listening to any input, be it technical or the type of the type of content or how I'm doing the content, so just let me know. Hey, listen, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Begging for your life so soon, wench.
Are you Telever bandits?
Telever? Those greedy monsters. We're nothing like them. Those fiends will kill even women and children. We're from Ganelon, and we know a little something of honor. We don't harm women, for one thing. After all, why kill what you can sell?
If you're not Telever, then there's no reason for you to die here today. If you'd like to tuck your tails and flee, do so now.
You. No more curses. You're gonna learn to watch your tongue.
So on this early chapter, I tend to like to whittle down his health a little bit with Lynn, and then I'd like to try to kill him with either Will or Florina, considering that Florina is, like I said, very weak. She did get a level from those bandits she was fighting, but it was only 1 point of defense and 1 point of HP, so not the most stellar performance of all time. So she can deal 6 damage. That would be just enough, but I don't know if that's... Well, you know what? I like risking it. So Will's gonna go and try to hit him.
Draw your swords. We're not listening to any of your stinking apologies.
So that, I think, is his generic quote. And I'm pretty sure that when he fights Florina, which you wouldn't ever really try to do considering she's a lance user and he's an axe user and he's got a bonus over her, they have a special conversation too. Excuse me?
Huh, it's you. So you changed your mind about coming with us, eh?
Well, no, but this really is my fault. Really, so can we...
What? Come on, lass, out with it.
I'm sorry, can we just stop fighting now?
You've got to be kidding me. After I've been made to look like a fool? No way.
Eek!
You're coming with us. I promise you that. Now, if you don't want to get hurt, give yourself up.
Come on, Florina. You just have to hit twice on an 81% chance.
Yeah!
Fuck yeah. I love it when my well-laid plans work out.
Ugh. You'll live to regret this. My brothers, the Duleon bandits, will not let this stand.
Level. Here is Florina's second level with the team. And that's definitely a level. Definitely a level there. Speed resistance. It's fine. It's still, it's better than nothing. It's better than an empty level. That's finally taken care of. Lynn! Florina, why did you follow me? It's so dangerous. Do you remember the knighting ceremony of the Pegasi Knights of Ilia? Yes. You join a band of freelance soldiers to further your training. Is that what brought you here, Florina? Uh-huh. I wanted to talk to you before I set out. But when I went to Sakai, I heard that you had left with some strangers and... You were worried for me? Thank you, but I'm more worried about you. Me? Listen, most mercenaries are men, right? Bands of men? I can't imagine you being at all comfortable around them. I know. It's just I've always dreamt of being a Pegasus Knight. I imagined I would just work it out. Somehow. Yeah, smart. Go out on your own. Live life to the fullest. After today, I'm not so sure. Maybe I should just give up. Florina, don't cry. Yes, there's no reason to give up on your dream. Lovely, Florina. I have the most brilliant idea. Sane, you should come with us. With the addition of Will here, we're a fine group of soldiers, and freelance to boot. Wait, did you just include me? Of course, we were destined to meet here. It's fate. Come now, Lindis's band of mercenaries is as good a training group as you will find anywhere. Sane, this is no joking matter. Lindis, Lynn, mercenaries? I can give you the details later. This is all a bit rushed. However, Sane is right. Will you come with us, Florina? Travel with you, Lynn? Truly? I would be so happy. Fantastic. Beauteous Florina. I am a knight of Kalen. My name is Sane. Ah! Stay back. Don't get so close. Ah, beautiful and yet so modest. I beg your forgiveness. Calling us mercenaries. No, I approve. We can't leave Florina on her own. She requires special attention, though. Can I count on you? Yes, you have but to ask. So, is it really all right if I travel with you? Oh, yes, of course. If you're willing, Will. Oh, God. Wow. So good. Actually, I'm very grateful. Truth be told, all of my money was stolen and I'm at a bit of a crossroads. I would be honored to count myself as one of Lindis's legion. Yay, another CG. Oh, look at this great happy band of random people who met each other on the road, I guess. Lindis's legion? This is getting stranger with every day, McDaniel. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, we're pretty standard fare for Fire Emblem characters, at least. Alright, well, I think that's going to be where we ended off today. I was hoping to maybe get through another chapter, and in the future, I think next time, once I start skipping through the chapters, they'll go by a lot faster. But in the meantime, that leaves us with 4 chapters down, technically. 5 chapters, or 5 characters recruited. And I really hope that you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see the next episode. If this is a Wednesday, then the next episode should be going up on Friday. I'm going to try to keep a consistent schedule. And then maybe not this Saturday, but the Saturday after, I should have a video game, movie, or book review. I'm not really quite sure yet, but I'm writing the script right now. So if you enjoyed it, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again over the hedge. Not going to use that because over the hedge is garbage. Godspeed, pilgrims. Not the movie. The movie's actually pretty good. Over the Hedge, the movie was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy it a lot more on a rewatch now than I did originally because honestly, it's not that bad. I think at the end of the day, when you're looking at this, it's really good. And I think